Okay, so the latest Liverpool transfer news. We're going to have a look at Nicolas Pepe, continually linked with Liverpool as a potential striker signing. Now, it was originally brought to Liverpool's attention when there was the strange rumours about Jurgen Klopp wanting to sell Mo Salah and use the funds to buy Nicolas Pepe, and really quite bizarre rumours. So it was not a signing that I looked at too seriously, but there's some new news coming on Nicolas Pepe. We'll cover that in a minute. A lot of people have been asking me about the Real Madrid, the Spanish under-21 guy, Dani Ceballos, who's really come to the fore with his displays for the Spanish under-21 side. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on him. Great player, by the way, absolute great player, and we may do a video shortly on him if it looks like something more material is going to happen with this signing. But what I can tell you is that he's got a 45 million price tag on his head, which on the face of it sounds in today's market sounds brilliant for a Real Madrid under-21 Spanish international who's getting absolutely rave reports for his playing. The problem I see with this, from what I understand, is that Real Madrid, any sale that goes with him to a future club will have a buyback clause, which basically means that should he be sold on, they'll be able to buy him back on the cheap. Now, in today's transfer market of big money signings, clubs need to be able to have that ability to be able to sell a player on to recoup some of these big 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 million transfer fees that are being touted around. Now, if you sign a player like that, yeah, you're going to get an absolutely great player. But if you're then tied into a buyback clause that is allowing Real Madrid to buy him back cheaply at the end of it, the business side of things is probably going to outweigh the football playing side of things, which is a shame, really. But it's the way the transfer market is operating. It's operating a lot differently now than it did 5-10 years ago. So I'm not going to go into great detail on him. Obviously, if something more looks like it's going to materialise in, I'll put a video together. So obviously keep watching out for that. And if you like the channel and like the videos, subscribe to the channel below. Appreciate all your support. Now we'll have a look at Nicolas Pepe. He's an age 23 right winger at Lille. Come to everybody's attention really with an absolutely outstanding season last year, and we'll have a look at his stats and where he's been, etc. But it's a strange one. Liverpool up to now have denied any dealings with Lille and with the player regarding a potential signing. But this evening, the Lille President has done an interview with RMC Sport, in which he's actually saying that Liverpool have had contact and negotiations and discussions with regards to the player. It's a little bit misleading because initially you think that he's had Liverpool have had discussions with the club and with the president, but he then goes on to say that Liverpool have had discussions with the player and his agents. So again, is it a Lille President trying to manufacture a move? Are they trying to use Liverpool to up the price of the player? Who knows? But there's obviously something bubbling under there. Now, the biggest problem with this player is that they're putting a 90 million euro price tag on his head, which I can't see Liverpool or any other club playing that. Don't get me wrong, very good player, very exciting player, and we'll go into his strengths and weaknesses in a sec, because he's not the finished article. Very promising, like I say, very exciting, a lot of potential there for a young player at 23, but he's not the finished article. Now, give you a little bit of history on him. He started out for FC Poitiers. In 2013, he signed to SCO Angers in France, and then in 2017, which is where his career really started, he was signed to Lille for I think it was about 10 million pounds. Now, the manager of Lille at the time was a manager you'll know, Marcelo Bielsa, who's now the Leeds manager, and he's got a really good eye for a player as Bielsa. He's made some terrific signings, handled some terrific players over the years, very experienced, he's got his head screwed on as this guy, and he signed him for £10 million back in 2017, and he experimented with him a little bit. Played him on the right wing, and he was going great. He tried him in the centre forward position, and didn't quite work out for him in the centre forward position. Put him back on the right wing where he really was performing. He's got blistering pace, loves to dribble. He plays on the right wing, but he's a left-footed player. And when you watch him play, he's very much, reliant on that left foot. And there's times where you see him go down the wing, past the full-back on the right-hand side, and you want to see him going to the byline and pull the ball back across the penalty area with his right foot. And even when with bad body shape, he'll use his left foot sometimes. So there's work to do there with him in terms of he really needs to get that right foot working so that it can be a little bit more unpredictable with his fullback. A little bit of naivety, gets caught offside a little bit. He can sometimes hold on to the ball a little bit long, but that's nothing particularly distressing for a young guy. Now, he comes from very humble beginnings in France. Very sort of gangly lad as a youth, and he wasn't initially spotted. He didn't come through any youth academies from a very young age. So he's had to graft to get himself noticed. There was talk when he was a teenager that a little bit of attitude, a little bit of friction with coaches, but since those early years, there's absolutely nothing there that suggests that he isn't anything other than a true professional now, and dedicated to the sport. So I think any of those early grizzles he's grown out of those. He's a 6-footer, so you can imagine in his early years probably was very gangly. So we'll have a look at his stats. 16-17 season he had 39 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists. So nothing there to strike any interest. The following season, 17-18 season, 38 appearances, 14 goals, 5 assists. So you can see starting to get some figures under his belt. And then in the 18-19 season, his real breakout season there, 38 appearances, 22 goals, 11 assists. He's actually, for goal scoring in the league, he was second behind Mbappe for goals. So not a bad player to come second to. So 38 appearances, 22 goals, 11 assists. That's pretty good going. Internationally, 12 appearances, 4 goals, no assists. So he's a lad that really is coming to fruition. He's the right age, 23. I think coming to somebody like Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, I've said it many times before, but he's a great manager for developing young players. We've seen that with some of the guys he's brought into the squad, and players tend to, I can't think of people that don't really get better under him. So I think it'd be a good move for Nicolas Pepe. At the right price, I think it'd be a good move for Liverpool. Like I say, the original link to Liverpool came around that Mo Salah rubbish of Mo Salah's going to be sold, and Jurgen Klopp's got his eye on Nicolas Pepe. So I didn't really take too much interest in it as a potential transfer to Liverpool. He was obviously been linked to other clubs, but now with tonight the Lille President actually coming out and saying that Liverpool previously have denied it, but who knows, we'll see. I think he's a potentially a very good signing. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on Nicolas Pepe are. He's one, like I say, not finished article. He's got all the raw ingredients. He's got pace, great dribbling. He can finish. He obviously is providing assists. He just needs to be developed and nurtured in the right team, in the right squad with the right manager. And I think he's the sort of guy that could put pressure on Liverpool's front three to keep them on their toes. I think he's good enough to make them look over the shoulder and think, you know what, if we don't perform, he'll take our position. And I think that's what Liverpool need next year. If you aren't careful, complacency can set in if players are not looking over their shoulder and not seeing potential prospects coming up that may pinch their place. So in all areas, I think he ticks the right boxes. We'll see if this one progresses. Like I say, it may just be the Lille President trying to stir up interest to try and boost that sale price, perhaps to one of the other clubs. But I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool aren't looking at him seriously. If you like the videos, please like and subscribe below. Appreciate all your support you give the channel, and thanks again for watching.